I'm sorry, I got.
As long as we're not like crossing over the people.
All right, now a little bit of start with you with the historical aspects of this. I think you're out. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome out to the historic Boardwalk Hall here in Atlantic City, New Jersey for the Napa Know-How Atlantic City Indoor Midget Car Race. What a show you are in for here tonight. It is going to be great. Fan Fest is going on, so those of you here in the arena, just take your time, enjoy, getting a chance to hang out, meet your favorite drivers. All the cars, all the stars are here tonight in Atlantic City. In the blizzard. Yes, indeed, we're here in the blizzard. Those of you watching on DirtTrackDigest.tv, the Facebook live stream, thank you so much for checking us out. You can get the subscription tonight, $34.99, DirtTrackDigest.tv. That's www.DirtTrackDigest.tv. That is the streaming spot for tonight. So pop some popcorn, get some cold frosty ones in the cooler, and have a good time with us tonight on Dirt Track Digest. And those of you in the arena, have a good time here tonight at this historic Boardwalk Hall. This is the Napa Know-How Indoor Midget Car Race here at Atlantic City. We've got the Van Wickle folks and the folks from brain fade on Bryce's. There we go, Bryce's. We had Bryce's and Van Wickle. They're the local Napa auto parts dealers, and we appreciate their support as well, participating with us here. So we are glad you joined us, and we have, for the next 30 minutes, some great stuff. Going to talk to all the drivers and just talk about what you're going to see tonight here in the arena and on www.dirttrackdigest.tv. I'm Steve Post from the Motor Racing Network. We've got a panel of experts here gathered on the stage. We're going to start with the historian, if you will, on three-quarter midget racing. Bob Marlowe is here. Always a pleasure working with Bob. One of the guys that's been around this sport for a long time, and I respect so much. Bob, first off, just great to share the microphone with you again.
Oh, it's always good to be here, and welcoming Tim to our broadcast as well. Pleasure to work with you guys. And you mentioned historian. Well, I think that's euphemism for old guy. I've been coming to the races here in Boardwalk Hall since the 1960s. I've only missed 2 in the past 50 years. One of those was last night, so I watched it on DirtTrackDigest.tv. Well worth it. If you're thinking about doing that, go ahead and do it. But this is a magnificent old building. It was built in the 1920s. It was, at the time, the largest clear-span indoor space.
You mentioned, and I agree with you, the history here, there's just everything here, but racing here. You mentioned it started in the 30s. Boy, I am telling you, racing here at the Boardwalk Hall, and this continuation of it has gone on since 2003. This is the 19th running of the Gamblers Classic. We have seen some magic and special moments here, Bob.
Well, and that's been true throughout the history of the building. A tremendous number of great names in racing have raced here and won here. We'll be honoring some of them here this evening with some special awards. But the field of drivers we have here tonight, we're going to be talking about them a little bit later. Boy, it's wide open.
It is wide open, that's for sure. Bob mentioned Tim Califamo is going to be my co-hoster on the broadcast. And that microphone over. I want to talk to Tim here a little bit. We also have Morgan Rochelle, Miss Motorsports. But Tim, we had 3 20-lap qualifiers for the TQ, slingshot racing, champ kart racing here last night. A lot of heat races. What stood out to you last night as far as what you saw here at the Boardwalk Hall?
Well, I think one of the things that both you and I saw, Steve, last night in particular was that outside line really started to come in as the race progressed. We saw some of the drivers in particular in the TQ heats start to use that outside lane to choose on the restart. So drivers like Trevor Catalano, Andy Jankowiak, Anthony Cecily as well were also using that outside lane to try to make passes, and it kind of became the fast line. Now, something interesting about that, you were talking to Tim Buckwalter this morning in the garage area. He told you that this track here at Boardwalk Hall drives very much like a dirt track, and we know at a dirt track, as the race wears on, that groove starts to move up a little bit, and that seemed to be what we saw last night. Same thing happened in Allentown a couple of weeks ago, early this year in January. So I think that's going to be the major thing to watch, especially once we get some laps on this Boardwalk Hall surface.
With the multiple grooves as well, Tim, one of the things we saw was a lot of people coming from the back to the front. It was thrilling racing, watching those drivers make their way from the back. We saw some big movers here last night as well.
Yeah, and that was kind of the theme throughout the night. We saw drivers that would get into a wreck early on and then maybe be able to make some passes late in the race and still be able to get a pretty decent finish out of the show. So I think that's going to be something that's going to play a role, especially with now there possibly being 2 grooves that you can pass. Of course, you can always use the chrome horn, so to speak, to make a move, but that outside lane definitely started to work work and allow drivers to make passes on the racetrack.
He's Tim Catalfamo. That's Bob Marlowe. I'm Steve Post. We talk about things. We witness everything. We wring our hands about things. To my knowledge, we've never raced race cars. We have got the fourth member of our introductory here who is a racer. She is also Miss Motorsports 2022. Morgan Rochelle joins us. How are you? Michelle. Wait a minute. Morgan Rochelle, right?
Morgan Rochelle.
Yeah.
Dealer.
Yes, I know there was a last name there too. Yeah, Morgan Rochelle. I had it right, and then I heard something in my ear, and it was like, wait a minute, did I get it wrong? So, first off, congratulations on Miss Motorsports. What an exciting time for you, Morgan.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it was going to be my last time running, so I was like, third time's a charm, I hope. And here we are.
Okay, so you are Miss Motorsports, but you're also one of our slingshot racers here. You heard Tim talk about what he saw last night, what he witnessed. As a racer, as somebody who drives these cars, tell us guys and everybody watching who don't drive race cars what that means for you.
Well, the track's constantly changing. I mean, and being a spectator, it looks so much easier than it actually is. I said to my dad, I hope if I make this feature that my arms are going to be able to hang on. So I'm praying that my arms are not going to just completely give up on me. But the track's constantly changing, so as much practice as you can get, you don't really know how the track's going to be. So come feature time, it could be completely different. When I was out earlier, there was a massive amount of rubber. It was like a cushion, basically. So, when you go to a dirt track, they always have, well, not always, most tracks have a cushion. It was a little cushion of rubber, and if you hit it wrong, you're screwed.
Wow, I'm telling you what, we are in for a thrill. Morgan, we're so glad you joined us here. I'm telling you, we're glad you missed Motorsports. We're going to have fun watching you race and then make the trophy presentation and the trophy presentation for the TQs. We're going back. We talked a little bit about the history of Miss Motorsports. My understanding is that we're going to go a little historical. Did I hear right? We're talking about bringing the bikini back?
Yeah, I think that is something that stands out. It's different, and it makes Victory Lane fun. So we're going to make Victory Lane fun again.
Woo! There we go. Morgan Rochelle, Miss Motorsports 2022. Those are some of our observations. One of the things that I saw last night, I think we came into this season as we looked at this, and in the recent races has been a lot of Andy Jankowiak and Ryan Flores racing each other, and I expect those two to be at the front of the field. But I think we've added a couple wild cards here, and it's tough to say wild cards when some of these guys have won multiple races. Eric Rudolph is back racing with us. You never want to count him out here at the Gamblers Classic. Anthony Cecily, a brand new race car, and he is fast, in a word, and he is pumped up and ready to go. He won one of our qualifiers, and the guy that's quick time, we're going to talk to him in just a little bit. Tim Buckwalder, you got to keep an eye on him. He's got a little bit of a hot hand. A couple weeks ago, he qualified for his first Chili Bowl in a full-size midget car, so he is riding a hot hand as well, and I think there's going to be some of the drivers that we're going to be watching up at the front of the field. We, again, are so glad you joined us here in the building and on DirtTrackDigest.tv. We're going to take just a few moments here. We have some special awards and presentations that we're going to do, but enjoy the afternoon here in the arena. And again, if you're watching on DirtTrackDigest.tv right now, drop everything, get your subscription for tonight, because you're not going to want to miss what happens here at this historic building. We'll be back in just a little bit with some special awards and presentations.
here and talk to Tyler. Tyler driving the number 98 from Richfield, Pennsylvania. Of course, you won the Fast Time Award, the $100 reward courtesy of Dan Kapuczynski. And Tyler, first off, let's talk about your race car. How is your race car tonight? What do you expect going into this event tonight at Boardwalk Hall?
Yeah, we've been pretty good here all weekend, and there in practice, somebody laid oil and they laid a lot of powder around it, so we really didn't get a good practice, but I think we'll still be pretty good to race.
Tell the fans at home watching on Facebook Live right now how you guys attack this racetrack. Champ Karts obviously have a little bit less power than some of the TQs and the slingshots. How do you guys attack this racetrack? What's the driving style like to get around this track here at Boardwalk Hall?
You know, like without shocks and stuff, you really got to rely on tires, and that's one of the most important parts of kart racing in general.
Now, of course, you're going to be rolling the dice tonight. Of course, we're here in Atlantic City, so we're going to try to roll these dice now and figure out what the invert is going to be to determine the invert for the main A race tonight. So, Tyler, if you'd like to go ahead and roll the dice, just roll it on the ground, and we're going to see what the invert is going to be. It's going to bounce around a couple times, and it looks like it's going to wind up on 6. So that is going to be the invert for tonight. You think that's a good roll or not?
Probably not to start.
All right, well, Tyler, thanks so much. So, again, that is the number for tonight. That is the invert for tonight, number 6. And now we are going to move over here and talk to another one of the fast time drivers. This is for the slingshots. This is Brett Bieber, of course, the $100 check that you're going to get courtesy of Kim's Creation. So, Brett, let's talk about slingshots. Let's talk about your race car. What are you expecting tonight here at Boardwalk Hall?
Yeah, we've been good all weekend so far. The heat race last night, we kind of struggled a little bit, but we're hoping that we made the right adjustments, and we're hoping to be fast. The track's a little different this year compared to other years, so we have to try to keep up with it and do the best we can.
I asked Tyler just a moment ago to explain to the fans how you attack the racetrack driving Champ Karts. Same question for you. How do you attack the track driving a slingshot, a car that's really kind of meant to run on dirt? So as far as setup and everything is completely different running here at a track like this. So tell the fans at home exactly what that is like as a driver behind the wheel.
Yeah, the setup's a lot different for dirt to indoors. You kind of move everything over to the right, and you try to free your car up as much as you can from the rubber on the track, and then you, same as the other guys, you attack the corner as hard as you can and try to make sure you cut in the center and launch off the corner. So far we've been doing that. We just have to keep doing it.
Now, you won here in 2018, so you're familiar with getting to victory lane. What do you think your chances are to get to victory lane tonight?
Well, if you told me I was on the pole, I'd feel real good or a lot better, but we'll see what the dice here does. And if we're on the inside or at least start towards the front, you know, hopefully we have a good shot at it. But you're in Atlantic City, you got to be lucky, you got to have a good car, and you got to stay out of trouble.
Well, speaking of rolling the dice and being lucky, Brett, you're going to do the honors of the slingshot. So pick a dice. Steve Post is going to hand it to you and give it a roll here. Let's see what we got. Bounces around a couple times. And the number is a 1. Got a big round of applause from the crowd, so I would assume that's a pretty good roll.
Yeah, obviously we're happy about that, but you still got to run around 25 laps and make it happen. So pressure's on me now, right? No excuses. So the S&S guys are right up there with me, Scott and Jared, and we race with each other at Allentown. So I'm excited to race with them again here in Atlantic City.
All right, well, Brett Bieber, he's going to be one of the drivers to watch tonight here in the Slingshot A main. Of course, we'll keep our eyes on Tyler Brown as well as we continue to move things along here on Facebook Live with FanFest.
Tim, absolutely. Great to see those racers here as well. We're going to keep right on going into our award presentations here tonight because we just want to make sure we get everything done by 6 o'clock so we can start clearing the floor. And again, those of you here, as far as the floor goes, while you're wandering around here just a little bit, you can go to Miss Motorsports table over in turn number 3, and you can make sure that you get an autograph picture on that. Miss Motorsports is going to be in here also doing some photos as well, so we're going to do that. And we are now going to do the presentation for the Walter T. Chernokel Memorial Best Appearing Call, Walter Chernokel, a long time, he's passed now, but a long time involved as a co-promoter, announcer here at the indoor racing as well, columnist for years and years with Area Auto Racing News, such an integral part of this program. So Adams Motorsports and Ray McCabe present the best appearing car, and we have got the best appearing car. We decided sometimes we do this award and we show the plaque, we do a picture, we never show the car, but we're going to show the car. It's Matt Janis's race car. What a beauty it is. Matt, jump right over here and get your picture made, and we'll talk to you here just a little bit. But Ray McCabe is in here doing it. We got Miss Motorsports. Yep, jump in there for the picture. I'm sorry. There we go. Miss Motorsports in there. There we have it. All right. How about that, Matt? Pretty nice, isn't it? Start the night off with a little bit of money.
Yeah, that never hurts. Belfour, property restoration, Valco wheels, arch radiator. There's a lot of people that help make this go, and fortunate enough to be able to drive it. And been doing this a long time, and hopefully we can win one of these one year.
We wish you the best.
Thank you.
There we go. That's a good-looking race car. It is the Adams Motorsport Ray McCabe best appearing car, the Walter T. Chernobyl best appearing car. Matt Janis picks that up. He is a former winner at Allentown, so he certainly knows how to get to victory lane. He mentioned Belfour Property Restoration. They're one of our great partners here, and they do have a display up on the concourse, so make sure you get to meet the folks with Belfour and learn, should you have property restoration issues, especially after a blizzard that may or may not have happened in the area, you can go up and talk to those fine folks as well. So we're going to take just a brief pause, kind of catch our breath down here. Bob Marlowe's going to have our top qualifiers. We're going to do the redraw for the TQ racers and be right back at it here at Atlantic City. Again, DirtTrackDigest.tv, www.DirtTrackDigest.tv.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to begin some of the special awards we do every year here in Atlantic City. We're joined by Dr. William Lowe, and we're joined by driver Andy Jankowiak, who has won the last two Gambler Classic main events here in Atlantic City. But we're giving you an award tonight that maybe you're not all that happy about receiving. This is the third fastest qualifier award. You're accustomed to qualifying maybe even better than third, but it's a $100 bonus from Dr. William Lowe for Andy J. Now, Andy, you had a successful night. Last night you won your qualifying race, so despite being the third fastest in time, how do you rate your chances this evening?
Well, the goal is always to get into the top 8 inversion, and you just want to give yourself the best chance to do that. And I think it probably actually worked out. We had one of the cleaner qualifying races. And unfortunately, a couple other guys had some.
Now we're going to keep Dr. Lowe and Ms. Motorsports in the picture as we move on to the second fastest qualifiers. We'd like to invite members of the Romet family to join us up here as well. The second fastest qualifier, named in memory of Tony Romet, a multi-time champion in the TQ midgets as well as in midgets and sprint cars in his career. The second fastest time, again sponsored by Dr. William Lowe, goes to Ryan Flores. The big check in this instance got a picture of Tony Romet in the famous Whirly number 02 slingshot TQ midget, photograph taken at the Albany-Saratoga Speedway in the early 1970s. Now, Ryan, second fastest time, not bad, but you had kind of a rough night last night. Didn't quite do as well last night as you had hoped, I am sure. How do you rate your chances for this evening?
Yeah, we had a rough night last night. It was good to qualify well and win this award. You know, it's always cool whenever Obviously, I'm pretty young to know Tony, but to go talk to Lenny Boyd, and he informs me on all of it, and I'm becoming more of a student of the sport and learn about these guys, so it's really cool to learn the kind of guy he was and the races he won, and it sounds like a guy I want to be like. So last night was rough. Took our licks, but we didn't make it any worse, and we're starting a pulling our heat race, and we got a shot tonight.
He does indeed have a shot tonight. One of the ones to watch. He's won here in Atlantic City previously, only once. He's won multiple times in the other races in the indoor series. Ryan Flores, second fastest qualifier. Now we're going to invite Ray McCabe to join us, along with members of the Michaels family, as we honor the memory of Larry Michaels with the Fast Time Award for time trials that were conducted yesterday. And I'm looking around for the winner, and here he is standing right next to me from Collegeville, Pennsylvania, Larry Michaels' home state, Tim Buckwalter, our fastest qualifier. He is the recipient of the Larry Michaels TQ Fast Time Award and the $393.39 check that goes with it. Why that number? Because Larry Michaels' race car number was always 39. This award sponsored by Ray McCabe, joined with members of the Michaels family and Miss Motorsports, with your fastest qualifier, Tim Buckwalter. Now, Tim, you're a driver that we nicknamed the Hot Hand a few years ago. You've won a Friday night qualifier here in Atlantic City in the past, but last night didn't work out quite the way you planned, did it?
No, not quite. Just the nature of the beast when you come indoor racing. You never know what could happen, and we'll see what happens today. We'll start over and try to get this thing in victory lane tonight.
Well, starting over indeed. He's got a good shot at it. Your fast qualifier, Tim Buckwalter, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. It is time to decide and learn where our TQ drivers are going to start in tonight's dash race. The dash race, the top 8 drivers, 6 of them locked in from last night's qualifier races. The top 2 finishers from the qualifiers race, 2 more drivers made it on the basis of an accumulation of points. That way, if you got into one of those tough qualifiers where the top 2 guys stayed up front, you could still get yourself locked in, and then they're on the basis of overall points. We have got Napa Auto Parts caps right down here with the numbers 1 through 8. This will determine the starting lineup for tonight's dash. Of course, Van Wickle Auto Supply and Bryce's Auto Supply, the Napa dealers here in the area that do such a great job. The guy who accumulated the most points, Andy Jankowiak. We're going to bring him over. He's going to be the first to draw down here. We've got the Napa caps 1 through 8. We'll see where he starts in the dash tonight. He's always got a helper with him. He always has a, she's going to come in here and see what she does. There we go. All right. 4 right in the middle. Andy J, going to start right in the middle of that thing. What's your thoughts about the outside of row number 2?
We'll see. The track's been throwing us all sorts of curveballs, so the outside might not be too bad. She drew 8 for me last time, so she's improving. So we'll see. We got that dash race. We're going to see how everything shakes out. There's a lot can happen in 5 laps, so just happy to be back here in Atlantic City. Happy to see all these people, and hoping we put on a good show, and hoping I'm talking to you at the end of the night.
I know he will put on a good show. He's our 2-time and reigning Gambler's Classic champion. He's going to start from the 4th spot. Andy Jankowiak, a 3-time winner in the Gambler's Classic. It's been a year or 2, though. Where's Anthony Cecily at? There he is, right here. Anthony Cecily going to come up and come up here and grab yourself a hat. Oh, he's got a helper too. He's got a helper too. Cecily has been so fast here this week. We'll see. 4 has been selected. Oh, she don't want to do it. She doesn't. Oh, she wants some help. She wants some help. No pressure at all. This just determines the starting spot in the dash. This guy can wheel it from anywhere, so we'll see what you get. Anthony Cecily. Number eight. She has made it so you are going to have to be spectacular tonight. I think the good news is well, you dropped it even now. How do you feel? Did you get the car button back up after a little bit of woes last night, and how do you feel about tonight?
Yeah, they got it all back together. It's good. There's nothing wrong with it. It was really good last night. Rolled the top, no problem, obviously. Everyone keeps asking me what your thought process was. I really didn't have much of that. I just kind of was making laps. But, I'm not even worried about starting 8th. We'll be fine. It'll be dash, maybe pick up a spot or two, and then be good for the feature.
40-lap feature, it's a long way. We wish you the best.
Thank you.
There we go, Anthony Sussly. Eric Rudolph going to be next up. Where's Eric at? He's also a 3-time winner of spot.
We'll see. Got an inside start.
Spot.
We'll see. Got an inside starting spot. It's a long race, so we'll see what happens.
We wish you the best. Good luck. See if you can get another of these Gambler Classic trophies.
All right, yeah, we'll see.
There we go. That is Eric Rudolph, our third person to drive. Driver that made it in on the basis of points. Had a great run last night, all night long. Sean Nye. Where's Sean at? There he is right here. Sean, I think we got the back row taken care of and 4th is taken care of, so it's getting better and better for you. Of course, the Nye Racing family comes down from Western New York. They're here all the time. What a fast race car he's had. Number one. How about that, my man? First off, your race car. Describe how good your race car is.
It's all right, but I'm not going to say it's great right now, but we're going to find out. Starting the pole's great too, so.
There we go. Well, we wish you the best. See if you can get that Gamblers Classic.
Number 1, that's great.
There we go. Sean Nye gets the number 1 spot. Our 5th person to draw. He's the youngster. He's the American 3/4 midget champion. Oh, yeah, get your hat here. There you go. Got to have that. There we go. He is the American 3/4 midget Racing Association champion, Joey Bailey. Joey Bailey, here he comes. Joey's going to have a. This is not Joey Payne. Last night I called you one time Joey Payne, and Joey Payne lit me up on Twitter for having him in the car. Joey Bailey, of course. See what you do. Number 6. How about that? How do you feel coming from the outside of row number 3 with your race car?
Well, the outside was the advantage last night, so we'll have to see if it's the advantage tonight. I know they did a lot of different work for the track, but we were real good. We were real good on the inside, and we didn't really get much of a chance to run the outside last night. Cecily was running the top, and I was trying to chase him on the bottom, but we'll try to make it work.
We'll see what happens. He's going to start in position at number 6. That is Joey Bailey. Our 6th driver to draw. Where's Kyle Lick at? Kyle Lick, I saw him. Kyle, you're up. Come up here and draw yourself a cap. Okay, so she's in a hurry to go do that. All right. Let's see what she did. Number 3. How about that? She did good, didn't she?
Yeah, for sure. We were pretty good last night. The track was interesting. I liked it. It kind of fit my liking. It was, like I said, it was a lot like a dirt track. A lot of people said that. It's not too often you can run, the outside and be competitive, especially, indoor racing. So hopefully we kind of get some more of that tonight. It made it, I thought, a good racing from the driver's seat and plus for the fans. So the track was awesome. Hopefully we can do some more of that, and we'll see what happens here in the dash.
We wish you well here tonight.
Thank you.
There we go. That is Kyle Lick. He was our 6th person to draw. Man, this young man, what a ride he gave. He was wheeling and dealing in the second half of that one last night from up in Allentown. Driver of the number 48 car, Briggs Danner. Briggs, we've got 2, what's left, 2 and 5? 2 and 5. All right, 2 and 5. All right. Let's see where we're going to start. Inside of row 3 or outside of row number 1? Number 5. There we go. Briggs, what a ride last night. How do you feel about what you did last night, getting into this through the qualifier after going to the back and coming to the front of that race?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. It's kind of a confidence booster, getting from the back to the front in that little amount of laps that we had. But usually we're not too good on a surface like we had last night, so I feel pretty good coming into tonight. Going to have to watch the track, being that we're not on it, so they get a lot of laps on it. So keep an eye on it and try to chase it around and see how good we are.
Have fun. We wish you the best.
Thank you.
There we go. Briggs Danner, one of the young hot shots in the sport. And finally, make it a formality. Where's Timmy Catalano? There's Timmy. Going to come up. He's got an assist. I think your assistant, I think your guy's going to do all right for you here. Just a hunch. I think you're going to do really good with this. Normally he doesn't do well with it, but I think we've got him headed in the right direction. Open that up and confirm what we believe it is. A number 2. How about that? We come to Atlantic City. This type of racing is always a little of uncertainty. You know, we don't race the cars here. We haven't been here in a couple of years. When you get behind a car and it goes as good as last night, how do you feel going into tonight's Gamblers Classic?
There's a lot of confidence in the speed that we had last night, and we could go inside or outside both all night long, so that's always a plus. Missed practice today, but I think we're going to be okay setting up today. You know, I just got to keep it clean and be there at the end.
Have fun.
Thank you.
There we go. Timmy Catalano going to start in the second spot here tonight, and those are your 8 drivers for the lock-in. Again, I want to remind you, we're getting ready to wrap it up. Those of you here in the arena, we need to at this time start to have you make your way back up into the seating area as the show will end, the Fan Fest will end here in just a little bit. I'm going to bring my partners back up here, Morgan and Tim and Bob, and we're going to get some final thoughts as far as our Facebook Live show. Again, DirtTrackDigest.tv, DirtTrackDigest.tv. We are going to have you a great show here tonight. We can't wait to have you join us here. $34.99, as it's easy for me to say, is what it is on DirtTrackDigest.tv. Let's see where we're going to start. I'm going to start with my main man, Tim Catalfamo. Tim, you were here last night. I want to get race picks. I want to know who we think is going to do what. Tell me who you think and why is going to win tonight.
Well, I think 2 reasons. Andy Jankowiak, I think, first of all, is going to win. I think for 2 reasons. Number 1, he's won this race 2 years in a row, and I talked to Andy Thursday night in the practice session. Said the car wasn't all that good. Friday night, much better result, won his heat. Just spoke to him a few moments ago. He said he thinks he can win. So I'm going with Andy Jankowiak.
Put Andy Jankowiak down for Tim Catalfano. Looking forward to covering the race. You can, again, Tim and I are going to be doing the play-by-play action here tonight. Morgan, it is your turn. Who do you think wins this and why?
I think Briggs Danner has a good shot. I think last night when he got sent to the rear and then he came back up and got second, he was very aggressive but also got the job done. So I think he will play a good part in tonight's feature event.
Well, we look forward to that pick and see how that goes. You can hand the microphone to Bob. And Morgan, again, we look forward to spending more time with you here in Victory Lane a little bit later and watching you wheel your car. Bob Marlowe, who do you think is going to win tonight and why?
Well, the problem is I can't disagree with any of the picks so far, but I'm going to go out there and go with the guy who's trying to become the Iron Man of the indoor series. He's tied with Joey Payne, a 2-time winner, for the most starts in the A-Main, the Gamblers Classic. I think he's going to get his first A-Main win tonight. And that is Matt Janisch.
Wow, how about that? Hey, before we get out of here, I got Morgan here. One more question. You are running the slingshot. How is your car? What's your thoughts here tonight before we let you get back to that?
I'm just hoping to keep the wheels on the thing at this point. No, I'm kidding. It'll be fine. I was a little, skeptical how to run the B main, but hopefully we got everything figured out and we should be good to go for the feature.
There we go. So let's see. I'm going to get this right on the picks. We've got Andy J picked here. We got Briggs Danner, and we got Matt Janisch. I'm going with my man. I went out to Chile at the Chili Bowl a couple weeks ago. I went out to Tulsa, and I watched Timmy Buckwalter put on a spectacular driving display out there in the Expo Center. I've seen him the last 2 years here finish in the second spot, and I saw him last night set quick time, so that's my pick. Tim Buckwalter is my pick to win the Gamblers Classic. We are glad you joined us here on our live look-in on Facebook Live. We're getting ready to shut it down. We're all going to take a few moments to catch our breath. 7 o'clock is when we go racing here in the arena and on DirtTrackDigest.tv. Remember, right now, get that subscription to DirtTrackDigest.tv. For Bob Marlowe, for Tim Catalfamo, for Morgan Rochelle, I'm Steve Post. Thanks for joining us here on our Facebook Live, and we'll see you at 7 o'clock for the Napa Know-How Atlantic City Indoor Midget Car Race from the famed Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City.